What you're seeing in front of you is 100% evidence of ancient Egyptian photography. It just doesn't lie. Just look at the photos. I mean, you have black photos, which is typical for old photos, and you have this man here who's like holding a big stone. I mean, what more can you ask of? And then you have these two photos here. You can see clearly how they're carrying the stones, putting them one after another to build the pyramids. For some reason, the pyramid is already built, but they're still, trying to build the pyramids. So we finally have real evidence. Ancient Egyptian photography before GTA 6. What's gonna be next? Maybe Minecraft 2.0? Who knows? And just look at this guy. I mean, he has like this big stone and he's holding it all on its own. Like, how do you do that? Just like some sand protein stuff. Nowadays we have what's it called? The strongest man in the world. Let me see. Strongest man in the world. Like, there they are, right? Eddie Hall. And I don't know all of their names, but you get the idea. But how can they compare against this guy? I mean, that's nothing. Look at him. He's holding the whole stone rock thing by himself. My theory is, though, that maybe back in the ancient past, gravity didn't work the way that it used to right now. So basically, if you have a look in Minecraft, right, what happens when you punch a tree? It's very obvious. The tree stays in the air, right? It's very obvious. So what if in the past you could do the same with, in ancient Egypt? Why not? Gravity was different. It was 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. We don't really know, guys. We don't really know. So it can be that actually it's not these people holding the stones, but the stones are floating. Ancient aliens, maybe? Let me see. I don't know. Could be. Could be ancient aliens. Could be. But that's probably how they did it. You know that Leaning Tower of Pisa, and people like to take these kind of funny photos. Here's one lady, she's put her foot here. Here's a guy leaning on the tower, ha 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 ha. Here's a lady pretending she has an ice cream, whatever. Maybe that's how they did it. Maybe the stones are actually in the air, just like in Minecraft. That's probably how they did it, definitely. It's quite funny actually that I already googled this, but if you actually type in something like ancient Egypt pyramids photography fake or whatever, this was the only way to find these AI generated photos actually. But the funny thing is, you have actual videos and like news articles of people doing a fact check on these things, which just I was astonished to see. Why do you have to do a fact check on something obviously fake? I mean, there wasn't such technology to take photos or anything. We hadn't even learned how to use electricity and how to even convert power, different types of power, into electricity. It's just, there is some evidence of something interesting to mention. So like these ancient batteries, I think. What is this? Ancient battery paleo quest. No, it's the ancient battery technology. The Baghdad battery. So I have heard of this. I don't remember it completely. Was it actually this one? Name given to a set of 3 artifacts. It can actually be that it's this one. There is some evidence or a theory. I'm not sure how correct it is, but yeah, it's probably this one, the Baghdad battery, about some kind of ancient type of battery, but here it says it's been debunked, but it has never been proved. It was viral maybe 5-10 years ago, but I think it's fake. It's a bit like the ancient aliens theory, where you have like, the guy, ancient aliens, what's the Giorgio guy, people like him, saying that ancient aliens came along in the past and they basically helped us build our civilization. Now, of course, that would be amazing if it happens to be true, but lots of these theories have actually been debunked. And if you actually watch any of these kind of, I would call them shows, they're not really documentaries, you're going to see that most of the people who participate, such as Georgios here, Giorgio Tsoukalos, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, most of them are actually just writer television producer. They're not actual historians, or I mean, you can call them researchers if you want. Anyone can be a researcher, but that is not sort of their actual research field. So it's very interesting. A few months ago, when I stumbled upon these AI photos of ancient Egypt, which look pretty good, I have to say. If you actually zoom in and you take a look at the faces, you can see the faces are actually quite unclear. But not only the faces, because if you look at the bodies, to some extent they look a bit Middle Eastern, in a sense of like modern day Arab people, which to some extent probably does not fit with how ancient Egyptians look like. Of course, ancient Egyptians were also a bit mixed from what I know, but I'm not an expert, I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that these were probably not the clothes that they wore, especially here on this lower right picture. That looks to me very Middle Eastern. Of course, when you're living in a desert, I assume that the style of clothing that you have developed in order to survive in the heat probably has not evolved that much over thousands of years. I'm talking about the traditional clothes, but I don't believe that these were the actual clothes that workers used, because if you actually look at ancient Egyptian, what is it? Let's put art. There's actually clothing. Let's have a look. Right, if you look at the clothing, it just does not. You can differentiate it. You can definitely tell that it's different from this Arabic style of clothing. And yeah, what I wanted to say earlier is that it's very funny that you have even websites who are debunking or doing a fact check and doing a so-called investigation, because actually this should be obvious to all of us. I don't think you have to be an expert. So maybe if you're just a child who is still hasn't had a lot of history lessons at school, or just doesn't know since when electricity and sort of like more modern devices, so when the industrialization and sort of the beginning of the first sort of more modern devices began, if you don't know any of that, then of course one might assume that these photos are real. It's actually very funny, because if you go on Facebook, not only about history, but you have so many AI generated photos, like of people, and not any certain people. Of course, you have of celebrities and stuff like that, but you have, for example, all of these photos of children in Africa building different things, and I think sometimes it's kind of disgusting, because some of these Facebook pages and websites, they're actually indirectly, or sometimes even directly, they're using your how to say, what's the word for naivete? They're using the fact that you're being a bit naive, and they're sort of making you like their posts, or sometimes even donating money to them, even though what they're showing you is not real at all. And of course, there's way worser things than just some fake AI Egyptian photos. This one, for example, here, I think it's actually the same. It's this one, but it's zoomed in. It's interesting to see how many actually people might have fallen for that, and here's someone even doing science of AI. Why do you have to analyze the photo in quotes, because it's not a real photo? Why do you have to analyze the image and even mark certain parts to prove it's AI? It's obvious that it's AI because cameras didn't exist back then, so you don't have to do that. You don't have to even post it in the, what is this, Hive AI detector tool. You don't have to do any of this. It's just pointless. It honestly makes you look a bit dumb. But that's just my opinion. So that is what Naibu. Why in Japanese some kind of, what is this? But why am I getting some kind of soap thing? Ooh, that's very interesting. Okay, it's a body wash for some reason. It's just, wait, could this? No, that is so weird. So apparently when you write naive in Japanese, it's a brand for soap, which is kind of funny. Naive pure. Uruoi nameraka. Okay, whatever. Too much change of topic. Anyways, we got ancient Egyptian photography. Well, not this one. Ancient Egyptian photography before GTA 6. Also, on a side note, if no one has seen this, we also got Minecraft in Scratch 3D. So we actually, on Scratch, not in Scratch. We actually got Minecraft 3D in Scratch, which, oh, excuse me for the sound, which, shout out to CodeFan321, which actually plays really well. So I'm thinking maybe to try it out or even do a small first impressions video. But it's amazing to see that this is running on Scratch. Now, I don't know anything about Scratch besides that people say it's quite an easy programming language. I even didn't know about it till last year. But it's amazing to see, and I highly recommend checking out the video from CodeFan, because he's the one that's making the game or reprogramming it. But what does reprogramming actually mean? Because technically you can get quite a lot of the code of Minecraft anyways, but it's still very interesting to see. But that is a video for another time. So yeah, ancient Egyptian photography. Great. Next time we can prove that the Earth is actually flat. I wouldn't be surprised, because if you actually look at, Minecraft worlds, well, you can't see it from here, but if you look at like Minecraft worlds map or whatever it is, there we go. They're actually flat. So our Earth has to be flat. It's definitely flat. What can you expect? So yeah. Thank you guys for listening and watching this unedited or very poorly edited low quality video. Stay awesome and have a great day.